I've seen some films for you guys, which I'll breeze through quickly. As we mentioned in the last episode, I saw Bad Santa 2,
Yeah.
And what did you
which
think?
was actually okay.
Okay.
I'm giving it 3 stars.
Ooh, wow, that's
Um,
the most stars we've seen it. Get.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, so quite bad reviews. I didn't mind the first one. I thought the first one was quite good.
Yeah, it's fun.
But yeah, this one, I thought it was fine. I mean, a lot of it's meaningless. A lot of the tertiary cast is kind of pointless and one note. Like Christina Hendricks' sex-starved do-gooder of this charity doesn't really go anywhere. Just serves to set up a few humorous sex scenes.
Okay.
The villain, it's not the villain so much, but the guy who runs the charity, who it turns out is actually a criminal who's filtering charity. Again, that story doesn't really go anywhere. It just gives you an excuse to not care that Billy Bob Thornton is robbing this charity.
Right, yeah.
But the story itself doesn't really go anywhere. So there's a lot of not really. It's mostly just Billy Bob Thornton and his mother. Not actually his mother. He's as the actor.
And this is.
I can't remember
Bob
the character's
Thornton.
name, but the bad Santa character and his mother teaming up to rob this charity, and their dynamic works really well.
It's Kathy Bates, isn't
Kathy
it?
Bates, that's it. Yeah.
Kathy Bates plays his
Who
mother.
had him when she was 13, and was apparently just like the worst mother imaginable. The stories you
That
hear.
makes sense.
Being
But, yeah,
13, yeah.
Their dynamic works really well, but kind of everything else is just it doesn't really fit in. And I saw Spike Lee's new film, Chirac. I think that's how you say it, Chirac. Chicago has more murders a year than Iraq has dead soldiers a year. So there's more Americans being killed in
Okay, so
Chicago
that's why
than
it's
Iraq.
Chirac.
And so they
Okay,
call
so-
it Chirac. In the film, I don't know if that's a thing in real life.
Certainly more Americans are killed on the roads in America than each year.
Oh, no, I know the murder
Then-
thing is true because there's a lot of
Yeah.
true
Yeah,
elements
yeah,
of the
but
film. I
whether
don't
or
know
not
if
they
the name
refer to it as
Chirac
Chirac.
is
Oh,
something
right.
that
Oh,
the
okay,
gangs in Chicago say or not. But it certainly is in the film. But
Yeah.
it's based on, and I've got to get my Google up quickly, it's based on a
So
play,
Lysistrata?
Greek play.
Lysistrata by Aristophanes,
Yep.
which is about how I think the Spartans and the Trojans, because that's what the gangs are called in the film,
Yep.
and how the Lysistrata persuades the women of Greece to withhold sex from the men in order to force them into a peace treaty.
That's that one. I was trying to remember what that was actually about when you mentioned it earlier, and I could not remember for the life of me now.
And that's the plot of the film, but it's
cool.
It's two rival gangs, the Spartans and the Trojans, in Chicago, and it still follows that same sort of storyline. But it's a bit weird to make a sometimes very surreal sex comedy about gun control and gun violence.
Yeah.
Because Spike Lee, well known for his subtlety,
Yeah.
and at times, we've got this weird sort of sex comedy going on, but it is very punching you in the face with the message a lot of the time. And there's parades talking about real victims of gun violence in America. And I have to assume, I've got their photos up, I have to assume the people in these parades are the actual relatives of these people. Because I assume, why wouldn't you not? That's Spike Lee, I assume he would do that. So it's got this very intense message, but this very weird, very funny, entirely almost pornographic at times. But it's actually kind of good. It's pretty good.
Okay.
It's just a very weird combination of things.
Yeah, I am intrigued by that though.
Yeah. They have. I don't want to do too much in the way of spoilers, but they have basically a sex off at the end.
I already love that term.
Wow.
That's
With
amazing.
the idea being whoever comes first loses, and it's just it's just the weirdest gun violence message you've ever heard.
Okay.
But it was pretty good and it's very funny.
What's it called? It's Chirac.
Chirac.
I can put it down on the show notes as I always do. And
I believe it comes out
December.
soon. Yeah, 9th December comes out
9th
very
December.
soon. But I liked it. I think I'm gonna probably give it 4 stars.
Great.
Haven't written the review yet because I'm really bad at that.
I'm waiting on
writing.
you, Christian.
At writing,
Yeah.
I'm just my timekeeping.
Right.
That was about it. We also saw, go back to Comic-Con, we saw The Darkest Dawn, which I actually really liked.
From Wildseed Studios.
Yes.
Yeah.
Which is a film with a lot of YouTubers in it,
Yes.
and a lot of Wild Seed Studios, who we'll talk about in length at some point when we have time. And they make web content and things like that. Philip Human, which I pitched him at last week, which he didn't pick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
By the
they make
look
a
on
lot
his
of,
face, he's regretting it.
yeah, they make a lot of web content, and they work with a lot of YouTubers. There's a lot of YouTubers in the films and their regulars who appear on their shows.
Yeah.
And they made a found footage film about 2 girls trying to survive this sort of alien invasion.
Yeah, it was interesting because it was a mixture of like aliens and zombies.
Yeah, the aliens send this infection down that basically turns everyone into 28 Days Later style zombies.
Yeah, which I thought was quite interesting actually.
Yeah, it was quite a good combination, and it also kept it allowed them to keep the budget low. They didn't have to put too many CGI aliens in the
Yeah,
film.
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
They could still have lots of action sequences, but it was really good. I wrote a review. I think it's probably on the Acting Hour website now.
Mm-hmm.
Again, I gave it a 4-star review. I like, it's good.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you're
it's
feeling
kinda-
very generous at the moment. You're loving
I'm
things.
in a good mood.
Good.
Well, that's us then.
Yeah.
Wasn't that fun?
I enjoyed it.
Yeah. I think this is good. In fact, last week we went out to see Fantastic Beasts before we recorded, and I kind of feel like by the time we recorded, we were quite low on energy.
Apart from me, who liked it.
You were, oh yes,
I
it
was
could,
high on
it could have
energy.
been that the film drained the three of us.
Yeah,
I was quite low on energy to start off with, I have to say.
So yeah, so I'm kind of inclined to say let's not do that again. Let's not record so late in the day.
Yeah, yeah.
This is good. It's a nice morning. We're all energized. We've all got tea. Mel's had no sleep.
Yeah, it's brilliant. Nothing but hysteria over here.
Woo!
Yay!
So if I just said the word gaggle, you just start laughing.
Do you have to say that suggestive word? Gaggle.
Gaggle.
But today we're going to be talking about Comic-Con, because we were at Comic-Con 4 weeks ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say it was
Far
ages
away.
ago
Ages
now.
ago. And we were at VidFest, so we're going to talk about all of that, and then we're going to talk about all the bits and pieces that we did. Then we're going to go through the buckets, which I'll explain what they are in a minute.
Yeah.
And where's my list? Oh, I put it on the floor.
No.
You gonna cut that
I'm
out?
such an amateur. And then
Somebody just did the Muttley laugh there as well.
God, we are all delirious. What the hell's wrong with us?
I'm sorry. What did you put in the tea? The coffee.
You'll never know. Matt made the tea. That's the problem.
Oh
Matthew.
So, oh dear. Taking a turn. So yeah, so 4 weeks ago, me, Kaylee and Mel were at Comic-Con at the VidFest
Yeah.
section. Matt was not there because you were ill. I was there even though I was ill. And
So
that
some
was-
of us
I
have
was-
more commitment than others. Is what
Well,
you're saying.
I'd have rather been in bed, to be honest, because I was not a well human being at all.
No, you were a bit delirious for the whole thing.
There's a lot of me coughing in the interview episode that just gone up because I just couldn't control myself. I cut out a lot of it out, weirdly enough, and Kaylee still said there's too much of it.
There was
Yeah.
also a wonderful moment when you were, and I can't remember which person you were talking to, but like halfway through, I don't know whether you got really into the interview and what they were saying, but you literally just forgot what you were going to say. You were like, what was I going to say?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
I
no,
remember.
that happens a lot. That happened a lot. That's just the only one I left in.
Oh, okay.
There's a whole like 30 seconds of me talking the Mina Murray interview where I just lost it completely,
Yeah, and you coughed in my face.
and I couldn't remember. And I coughed in your face.
You did.
Oh, the romance.
Yeah. It was
Yeah,
a good day.
it was actually quite a fun weekend.
No, it was. It was a good. Yeah, it was great.
So everyone knows what Comic-Con, or you should know what Comic-Con is, you crazy people.
If not,
If
why
you're
have you
any
been living
kind
in a
of
hole
nerd.
for the last 20
Yeah.
years?
But VidFest is a section of Comic-Con where they do YouTube content and online content, primarily YouTube. And it was started when people like Tomska and Edswell and all those very early YouTubers used to go to Comic-Con and do their thing and have like signings and sell merchandise and things like that. But they were so popular that they would choke out their crowds and their queues would choke out all the other stalls around them.
Yeah.
So they're like, well, we need our own section. And a friend of ours, Elazar, got sort of put in charge of that by MCM. And now VidFest has its own section. It's quite a large section, isn't it?
Yeah,
Matt?
it's
You-
Yeah.
cool.
I imagine it's
Lots
something
of
you
stuff.
just didn't sort of know was there before. Because Matt, you've been there with us before and we've had shows to advertise. But Mel, you sort of...
Yeah, I don't know what I really envisioned there to be at Comic-Con, other than a lot of comics and cosplay.
Yeah.
But now the VidFest section was really great, and it's a really nice range of different people with different content as well. It is
Yeah.
massive, which is cool.
Yeah. And we've been there before when we were advertising shows and with Flitter Films.
Yeah.
But we haven't been there for the last couple of years. We haven't really had anything to advertise for a couple of years.
Yeah, it's true. We've kind of sort of paused on making some new stuff. So I suppose it's like next year is
Hopefully, yeah, we'll be
is
something
getting
back
things
next year,
back
trying to
up
figure it
and
out.
back up and running and things like that.
But we were there and we had a table in the on the far side, opposite the Stormtroopers.
And Game of Thrones.
And Game of Thrones.
Oh.
Constantly playing. You can hear it throughout the interviews and throughout the show, the Game of
Yeah.
Thrones theme tune.
And the siren.
And
the siren every now
and then,
Gotham
yeah.
Police
Yeah.
Department, yeah.
It's noisy.
So,
And we were right near Tom's car as well. We could see his massive queue that snaked round
The
and round.
constant
and
queue
round.
to Tomska, yeah.
yeah. And Christopher Bingham was next to us, so again, there was queues
Yeah, he was,
to see him as well. It was kind of a good spot, I think, for...
There was a mix of some
For us.
very well-known YouTubers and some people who were there for the first time ever.
Yeah, exactly.
I had a brilliant moment next to Chris Bingham. I think you guys were off doing an interview or something, and somebody came up to his stall while I was chatting to him and asked him for an autograph. But because I was right there, they also asked me for an autograph. They
Yay!
clearly had no idea who I was because I'm not famous.
Yet.
But it was
Yet.
quite yet is the operative word.
Yeah.
But yeah, I felt a bit special.
It wasn't on an autograph on a check, was it?
I don't have any money. They won't do that.
Yeah, we were there with the table and advertising the show, but we were primarily there to sort of get a lay of the land and see what we could do as a podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I know how to be there as a show just selling our stuff, which is giving out flyers and sweets and crap. But yeah, we were there. We wanted to interview as many people there as possible. Didn't manage to catch everyone, unfortunately.
No.
And get a lay of the land and figure out what we could be doing. So we're going to go back next year for sure. In
Yeah,
May
I think
and do it big.
one of the things that we were doing on at VidFest was we were kind of asking for audience kind of feedback of people, like people to sign up to like the mailing list, but then also people to like choose a logo for us.
Yeah,
And
we were only 2 episodes in at the time. I mean, this is only
Yeah.
the 6th episode.
so it was one of those things where we used VidFest, we used Comic-Con as a kind of way to promote the show, but also we at that point didn't have a definite logo, so we didn't have any like flyers, we didn't have any business cards or anything like that. So coming back in May would be going back with flyers and
Oh yeah.
business cards
And merchandise.
and
Kaylee.
merchandise and t-shirts and hats.
That's what we really want in life is merchandise.
We do want some merchandise. Yeah, merchandise is great. Yeah, so it was just kind of laying the groundwork really for what we can do.
Yeah.
Because there's possibilities of getting like panels and things.
Well, I want to get more involved. I'm
Yeah.
going to talk to LSR about it. I want to get more involved in general.
Yeah, I think there was another podcast that went to VidFest and they recorded like a live
They
episode
did, yeah.
at their panel, and I like the idea of doing that. I like the idea of us using our panel to have some sort of live
Yeah.
episode.
Do they have
segment.
like audience participation if they were doing it on the panel?
I assume they also
Yeah,
have an
yeah, I
audience,
assume so. Because you have like an audience, or you hope you
Yeah.
do.
Technically, you have an
panel.
audience.
You have people there that would turn up, and
I quite like the
Well-
idea of doing that, of just having people like live suggesting things to us.
yeah,
Well,
exactly.
I wouldn't necessarily go there as an exhibitor, because as an exhibitor you get kind of stuck at your table doing your thing.
You almost want someone to
Yeah.
just do that for you while you go off.
We'd
and
have to
do-
go back
'cause
as an
we need to do
organised
like
team.
interviews and
Yeah,
And I
in
would- yeah, I would-
costume. We've already discussed the costume.
we are definitely doing costumes. and
I'm
stuff.
doing a costume for
We're
sure.
doing a costume.
You want top hats?
You just want the
Matt
top hats.
wants top hats.
Yep.
Branded top hats.
There was
Yeah.
a Mad Hatter.
Yeah.
From Batman, not from Alice in Wonderland.
They're almost exactly the same, aren't they?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
There's a whole
So-
series of Batman villains that are just kind of like Tweedledum and Tweedledee that are just kind of based on Alice in Wonderland.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, why?
There we go.
Just
So-
laziness, probably.
Cool.
So yeah, so that was super fun. As one of the things we had on our table, we had 2 buckets. I mentioned the buckets briefly earlier. We were asking people to put in good film suggestions or web series suggestions for us, and bad suggestions. We had
Yeah.
a bad suggestions bucket, which I currently have in my hand now.
Mm-hmm.
The bad suggestion bucket got a lot more suggestions than the good suggestion bucket.
Yes. Yes, it did.
Some people were very eager. Some people, as soon as I mentioned we're looking for the worst film ever, were super quick to grab a piece of paper, write it down, and chuck it in the bucket. Like, watch that terrible
I
film.
had that as well. I was like, because I was explaining to them that we were going to try and watch these things. As soon as I said we were going to try and watch them, they were like, "Oh, let's do this film." And I was like, "Are you just trying to torture us at this
Yeah,
point?
yeah,
Are you
yeah,
just
you
trying to make us watch?"
Yeah, you
Just
saw the glee in
crap.
some people's,
Yeah, they
some
really
people's
enjoyed
eyes
it.
as they wrote things down. But we haven't actually really gone through the buckets since we got
No,
them.
we had a
So
little
this
look through.
is sort of the opportunity, I suppose.
Yeah,
to,
we're
like,
gonna. Hopefully,
have a look.
I'm gonna find a film for us to watch. Because next week we're gonna be talking about comedy. Hopefully, we're gonna find a terrible comedy in this bucket for us to watch before that episode is recorded, and we can talk about. I know
Yeah.
that Tomska recommended Meet the Spartans. I think it was called to us, a 300 parody. that sounds terrible.
I think I may have seen that.
Oh, really?
You was
you can't be there for
scarred
that
as Tom
episode.
Skays about it. He was really upset about it.
He was.
He had a submission from one of the London small YouTubers, I think, for a
Yes.
film called Food Boy, which
Yeah.
just sounded amazing. It's just a guy like in all seriousness. Apparently, the film's not really a comedy, but he's just there like shooting ham out of his hands
Who doesn't
Yeah, I'm
want
gonna look
that?
this up now. Actually,
and like cheese and things, and I'm just like,
That would be really
this is-
useful.
this is great.
The power
I
of
feel
food.
like, and it's got one of the cast from High School Musical in it. He mentioned, and I think like I'm on board for that.
Has it got Zac Efron in it?
It's not that one, no.
Damn it.
No.
I do
Though I
incidentally think Zac Efron actually sounds like some kind of prescription drug. Like I was feeling really depressed, but now I started taking Zac Efron and I feel much better.
Actually, there's a meme going around of can you tell whether this is a prescription drug or an elf from Lord of the Rings?
Yes.
Brilliant. Let's find a link to that.
And
Buddy,
the
on the
Q-
show
oh,
notes.
one of the QI annuals had a game from Phil Jupiter's, which was, is this an American television presenter or a small village in England? It is impossible to tell the difference.
It's a little bit like you get the picture ones on the interwebs that are like Chihuahua or muffin. It's really difficult to tell the difference between a Chihuahua and a chocolate chip muffin.
Well, that's just weird.
That's just strange.
Trust me, I'll show you the pictures later. Can we
So-
put that on the show notes? A picture
Yeah,
of
just a picture
Chihuahua or
of-
muffin.
We'll just do like, yeah, it'll just be the cover image of the whole thing. People are just going to go, is it a chocolate muffin or is it a chihuahua? Send your
amazing.
suggestions into us. So should we go through the buckets? Should we-
Yeah, well, let
Let's-
me just quickly say to check out VidFest. You can find VidFest on Twitter and
Yeah,
Facebook
we'll put
and
a
stuff.
link
Check them
to
out.
VidFest. I think you said about Elazar. I think if you are like a web series creator, like Elazar is definitely like one of the
Yeah,
best
yeah.
people to know. Mainly because he makes his own content. He's produced a lot of web series. He produced like Threesome, which I pitched him at last week. He's also done produced Mina Murray's Journal,
Yeah.
which we talked about on the show. But as well as doing like VidFest, being in charge of like the VidFest section in Comic-Con, so he's the best person to talk to actually get in there. He also does like the London Webfest Festival as part of Rain Dance as well, so you can get the opportunity
And
to
we're
go to Rain
hoping
Dance
to
Film
work with him
Festival.
soon to do some more web series festivals as well. We've been
Yeah,
talking to
exactly.
him about that.
So he's definitely, if you're like a UK sort of, well, actually maybe not just, if you're like a person who
Primarily
wants to make
UK,
web
I'd say.
series in like anywhere in the world, just find Elsa.
Yeah.
He will help you.
And you can go to, as you say, there's a VidFest section that you may not have known existed at Comic-Con, which is all about YouTube, which you can advertise your shows and
Yeah, exactly.
Find
We'll
new
put like
YouTube
loads
content.
of like links to it in the show notes. So if anybody doesn't know what VidFest is, that you'll be able to find all the information about it.
I think that we should go through the terrible film bucket.
I was just going to
Yes.
say,
Yeah,
when
we
you
should.
said if you're making a web series anywhere in the world, you should find Elazar. You make it sound like he's the old man from from the Legends of Zelda.
Yeah,
You must find Elazar.
you must
He will give you a
find him.
sword. It's not going to be very useful.
Yeah, I agree with them. I just think because we are web series creators, and I don't think
Yeah,
that
yeah.
we would have known about. We wouldn't have gone to Rain Dance Film Festival and been part of the first Webfest if it wasn't for the fact that we met Elazar.
Yeah.
and
I have the
fact
worst
that-
memories. I don't really remember how these things came about, to be honest.
It was mostly
I've
through
worked on a
knowing
couple of films with
Elazar and Lisa and kind of meeting them.
I just know people because you know people, because Kaylee knows everyone.
I do know everyone. Hi everyone, if you're listening.
Can you make everyone listen to our podcast?
I don't get
please?
out much.
He doesn't actually, but yeah, I went to a networking event the other day, and and it was really interesting because a lot of people came up and was going, "I listened to your podcast," and I was like, "Cool, really?
Like,
That's good."
this is a new experience.
It was great, yeah, because a lot of people knew you. I knew
Really?
Lydia.
Could you-
Yeah.
Could
Oh,
you
dear
sum up a
Lord.
bit more
I'm scared.
enthusiasm next time they say that?
No, I know. I was
Really?
genuinely in
Yes,
shock
well-
because I was like, "Oh, cool." I was really surprised to find out that people listen to the podcast.
That's really-
Oh my god!
I say we open the box.
Right,
Let's
Matt's-
go
Matt's
in.
got
What's
the
in the
book.
box?
Matt's super eager.
So grab one and
Right,
pass
so-
it round.
Grab one. No, just grab one and read it out.
And read it out and pass it round.
All right, okay.
This is terrible film suggestions from the bucket.
Frozen.
Oh yes.
Oh, that's one of the hundreds
Oh.
of
Yeah.
like 12-year-old boys that have apparently
We
been
did have,
scarred by Frozen.
We did have
Yeah.
young 10-year-old, 12-year-old boys coming in and putting Frozen in because their sisters watch it all the time and it's driven them mad.
Yeah. It's true. I mean, I think, have we all seen Frozen? I kind of feel like it's a film everybody would have
I
seen.
actually have not.
No, I haven't
haven't
either.
seen
No, I
Frozen?
refuse because the one song that's from it already irritates me.
I'll let it go.
A bit
Oh, there's
overplayed.
so many better songs.
Oh, if in that case, I recommend that you listen to the Let It Go meets Metal, which is a kind of is a guy who he looks like the kind of lost member of Napalm Death. But he is also the smiliest heavy metal fan I've ever seen, and he plays basically heavy metal versions of various songs like that.
Christian,
Excellent.
you know it's crazy. We finish each other's.
Sandwiches.
That's what I was gonna say.
Oh dear. That's a song from this film. I've seen that film quite a few times.
Yeah, I've seen it quite a lot. I love it. I really do. I think it's brilliant.
Well, don't give us that look. Just pick a film.
Ah, this is excellent.
Is that what it says?
It just does, just
Great.
for a really long time. No, Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
No.
No,
Scared clowns. It's not happening. The killer clowns?
but
No.
it's clowns with a K. So I
What?
mean,
Oh, it's not the Insane Clown Posse, is it?
Killer clowns from... Right, we're gonna have to like look up all these films.
so
and
you
put
can.
them
I
in
mean,
the
you
show notes.
can't be scared of it if
Killer
it's
Clowns
clown with a
from
K,
Outer
because I feel like that's completely different.
That's not even the same thing.
It negates
It
your
depends-
phobia right there.
Yeah, I'm not entirely happy.
You guys
about-
you two can just draw out the bucket if you like.
Yes.
Passing it around seems like it's going
We
to take
have
ages.
the power.
Oh, give me like 3.
Aw.
You grab a handful.
I got a handful. Woo!
They're all going to be frozen.
Oh wow, I got
Every
that.
You only
single
got
one
like
of them.
30.
Yeah, I did. There's quite a lot in there. Okay, I'm gonna go for mine. Okay. So this one just says Phase 4, but it has a note that says maybe impossible to find.
That was a guy that I spoke to,
Yeah.
actually. And he did say it. I think it's like a 1970s film.
Okay.
But he did say it's probably really, really difficult to find. But should we find it, totally worth it.
Alright, great.
I have no idea what it's about. though.
Just looked up
Right,
Killer
no.
Clowns from Outer Space.
I've got
and it's
Sharknado
scary.
3 here.
course it is.
I've got Sharknado 3. I'm pretty sure Sharknado is actually in the good bucket.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
so
so
Sharknado 2 and 3 were both in the bad bucket, but Sharknado 1 was in the good bucket.
Shouldn't
so
that be Sharknado with a Vengeance?
It should be. These things need better subtitles.
yeah, that's the thing that ruins that film.
I got. I've got a film that's called Baby Geniuses. Or at least I think that's what it's supposed to say. 'Cause
What
it's-
does it actually say? The baby
It's GEUNISES. What's that? Genuises.
What?
What?
I feel like they were trying to say geniuses, but they
I don't know. Let's find out. I'll type
they
it in.
spelled it slightly wrong. But thanks for the suggestion.
There is a film called Baby Geniuses with Kathleen Turner and Christopher Lloyd that has a 2.5 out of 10 rating on IMDb. So it's probably
So
that.
it's definitely that would be that.
Turner.
And well, it's
And
Christopher
Christopher
Lloyd.
Lloyd.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did they make such a terrible film?
Some people consistently make really good films, and then all of a sudden just
Right.
one.
Right,
film.
okay,
The
here's
world's
the
most
synopsis. Here's the brief synopsis on IMDb. Scientist. Oh, that sentence doesn't make sense. Scientists hold talking, super intelligent babies captive, but things take a turn for the worse when a mix-up occurs between a baby genius and its twin.
I hate it when that happens.
I want to watch this film now. That looks good.
I
That's
don't.
going on the list.
Got Birdemic. I've heard Birdemic's a terrible
Oh,
film.
I've
yeah.
It's a famous
We
film.
actually had a suggestion from what's his name on Twitter? I think it's just at Bad Films.
Oh,
Who loves really
Yes.
watching
Yes, of
bad
course.
films, and he suggested Birdemic as well.
Yeah. We got a new follower who kept recommending good films, bad films.
Like his whole thing is watching really terrible films. It's brilliant.
Excellent.
Actually, the Starship Troopers 2 probably would qualify.
Yeah.
That's a pretty terrible film.
I really like. I just want to read out this because it made me laugh. It's called Barbed Wire, and then in brackets it says, "Not even boobs could save that film."
Yeah,
That's
that's the
Pamela
film starring
Anderson.
Pamela
Pamela
Anderson.
yeah. And it's entirely, or
Wire.
almost entirely copied from, I keep thinking Gone with the Wind, but it's not.
I-
Casablanca.
Okay.
It's
What?
basically a carbon copy of Casablanca. set in a
Except
kind of-
Casablanca's good.
Yeah.
Okay. And doesn't have
Oh,
boobs in
okay.
No, it's kind of...
It
It's
does.
kind of,
They just cover it up.
yeah. They're not in
It
your
doesn't-
face.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
It's kind of Casablanca reimagined as a kind of futuristic kind of...
Yeah,
See, now I
post-apocalyptic.
kind of want to watch.
Post-apocalyptic.
Post-apocalyptic remake of Casablanca set in a
Yeah.
sleazy nightclub with Pamela Anderson, but just lots of like with a gun and there's a lot of ammo over his
I
shoulder.
kind of want to
Yeah.
see this film now.
Have you
Thanks for
never
the
seen it?
suggestion. No, this
right.
this sounds.
It's pretty bad.
Well, I think I saw the trailer when it came out and just went no.
Yeah, you should
Wow.
But
carry
now
on
I
with-
know it's Casablanca. I'm very excited.
It looks yeah. Okay. Thanks for that suggestion.
So
What
we
else we got? What
also
else we got?
we have a suggestion of they've said it's the Hunger Games parody, which we talked about before. It's actually the Starving
Games.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Okay.
that's probably again terrible. They're very right.
Parodies are often
Yeah.
we're in a real slump of parodies. Like Scary Movie happened, and then they just got
Mm.
worse and worse and worse and worse and worse.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think that's Spartan, whatever it was.
Meatball
Yeah,
Spartans.
yeah,
Spartans
that's
is,
right.
is
Yeah.
that kind of? It might even be the same kind of studio or group that made it. in
Yeah, I
fact.
just don't know
I think
what went wrong there.
I think this film is a parody as well, not another teen movies.
Yeah, that's in the
a
same.
parody.
That's in the same vein of those.
Yeah, it's
This,
like
it's just this bizarre little trend that
Yeah.
just is terrible.
Go on here, Rubber, and then underneath it says Daniel Clark Ginger.
I like Daniel Clark Ginger.
Yeah.
is that his name?
Sure, why not?
I thought it was a
Daniel
film. Is
Clark
it
don't know.
really?
Ginger.
I
It
like
could be
Rubber.
Daniel minus Clark minus Ginger.
But I just want to say I like Rubber. I like that film, and
It's
I get, but I get
weird.
why people don't. You
Is
guys
Rubber
know
the
what it
one
is?
with the evil tire?
Yes.
It's the one with the evil psychic tire rolling around
Murdering
killing
Oh.
people.
I
you
think
know,
it sounds
you know
excellent.
Dave Novis.
Yeah,
Yeah, he told me about
of course
that.
I know
film,
David.
actually.
Do you know David Novis? Yes, we do.
Who
Yeah,
is
yeah,
David
it's
Novis,
really good.
by the way?
He's a friend of ours.
He's a
I thought it
effects-
was going to be an interesting
he's
story.
an effects editor and 3D animator that we know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He's worked on a few of our shows as well.
He has worked on. He did all the CGI for Marks Macabre,
Yeah. And some.
and he did a lot of the
Donnie as
the
well.
effects
Yeah.
for Donnie and Eaten by the Wolves when the meteorite hits the house and everything.
I actually have been kind of avoiding this next suggestion, but Super Mario Brothers.
Oh,
Because
that
I
is
feel
pretty
like
bad,
it's
actually.
but
Yeah.
I haven't seen it.
Bob
It's-
Hoskins as
Yeah.
Oh my
Super
God.
Mario. Yeah.
I feel like that's a film
I
I
want to
might
see that.
I might have liked more if it hadn't been called Super Mario Brothers because it's got piss all to do with Super Mario.
Literally
Yeah,
nothing
does it
to do
really?
with, yeah.
Oh.
Brothers. Really had. It's very bizarre.
And it's got who's it as Cooper? Oh, I can't remember what his
hold
name
on.
is.
Gonna find out.
Oh,
Oh, John Leguizamo.
No, it's not.
as
He's as
Cooper.
Luigi.
Yeah.
Oh, is he Luigi? Oh, sorry. I
Nah,
literally.
It's
just
got a really
looked this
good
up.
cast, which is weird.
Yeah. it does,
Which
yeah.
which character is it? Do you say
Cooper.
Cooper.
Cooper?
I assume he's still called Cooper.
Yeah. Who knows?
Oh, Dennis Hopper.
Dennis Hopper.
Dennis
that's
Hopper,
it,
of
yeah.
course.
Seriously. Oh my god.
Who
I
puts
have
in-
to watch this film.
Who puts in a terrible performance?
I know, but
So,
the
yeah,
cast
we
is
do
so
need-
good.
Damn
and
you,
it's such a
Hopper.
Yeah.
stupid, weird little film.
Yeah, looks the cast is pretty good. Yeah. Okay.
Talking of really famous people doing terrible, terrible films.
Yeah.
So this is a suggestion from Mark Jason Alley, who's actually the head of the fan carpet, which acting I will work with, and
Oh,
Christian
yes.
works with. Amazing. And he suggested Battlefield Earth.
Okay. I again
These-
feel like
these
this film's
Scientology
passed
movie, isn't it?
me
Yeah.
by.
The lovely
If you
John
don't-
Travolta. It
Yeah.
looks awful. Like even just you only have to look at his costume and you already think this is a farce, man. It's
Okay.
Also, the entire film is Dutch angled. There's almost no shot that's correctly balanced. It's all at
so
weird
the whole
angles.
film is squonky.
Yeah.
Cool.
Funky. That was
It's-
a
The
bit-
whole
technical
film
term.
Yeah.
is Eddie Redmayne.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I have just seen his costume. Wow.
Yeah. What did I
It
tell you?
is.
Wow.
It
John
is,
Travolta, Forrest Whitaker in the film.
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
See
yeah.
again, really like. Well,
I
I
mean,
mean, not John
sometimes
Travolta,
people-
but Forrest
yeah.
Whitaker. What are you doing?
It was.
I just made one of those in jokes that we got told off for making.
Yeah,
What
you did,
Eddie
yeah.
Redmayne? Well, just listen to the
Just
episode
listen to the
before.
last
If you,
and
Yeah.
see
yeah, you
what-
just have to
just
listen to every
us,
episode of
man.
the show, otherwise
That's
you know,
what we're going
you're
for,
not,
really, isn't it?
You're not going to be in on
Well,
it.
I've got
Sorry, I was just going to on Battlefield Earth because it might be one to kind of put off because I have a feeling that John Travolta is trying to make the next one in the series.
There's a series. Oh.
Yeah, because it's based on a book by L. Ron Hubbard, who is the creator of
Yeah.
Scientology, and
Good guy, man.
yeah, and John Travolta was a really big fan of the original book or books, and really, really wanted to make this film.
So it's his Lord of the Rings, really.
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
okay.
And yeah, the book is pretty terrible. Sorry, the book is pretty terrible, and the film is incredibly terrible.
So have you read the book?
I think I
You've
might
just-
have actually. Yeah,
Oh.
it's kind of
Hmm.
See, this
It's
is what
science
Matt
fiction.
does. Instead of getting Netflix, he reads
Reads
one Al
books, yeah.
Hubbard book.
But
He's
now
got
you have
Netflix now,
Netflix.
I do,
so
yeah.
you
Yeah,
don't
so
read
you
it
don't have to
now
read
he
it
just sits
anymore.
at home watching Gotham all the time.
oh no,
Yeah,
I
he
finished
left
that
the
now.
house.
So
Oh,
I,
he didn't.
He has not left the house this week. It's
There
just
we go. So I've got a suggestion for Alexander the Great with Colin Farrell, which I actually think I have seen.
With Colin Farrell and
With the
Angelina Jolie,
really
isn't it?
weird wig.
It doesn't have. Yeah, he's got like a full on like terrible blonde wig.
Yeah.
Right.
It does not
It's,
have good. I don't know why Alexander the Great had to be blonde.
No,
it 'cause
he
he was
was. He dyed his hair. He dyed his hair red.
Woo,
Well,
didn't
then why in the film was he
because-
inexplicably blonde?
I? Maybe
I don't know,
because can you
but it's
imagine Colin Farrell
famously-
with red hair?
Can you imagine him blonde?
Yes,
it's not
I've seen the
good.
film.
It's
Famously-
not good.
Famously, Alexander the Great dyed his hair with saffron because it was the most expensive substance in the world at that point, and kind of still is, in fact.
It's a bit douchey.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was the first douche. I've got
Yeah.
Howling 2. My Sister is a Werewolf, subtitle.
Oh, that was Rosie's
Oh.
suggestion.
It was from Rosie from Mina Murray.
Yeah.
I've heard a few people talk about that. It's another one of those ones that people just really love,
Yeah.
but it's really terrible.
Love to hate.
So yeah, I've got the Blair Witch Project.
Ah, screw those people.
So who?
I like the
it's
Blair
not-
Witch
it's
Project.
not
We
for every-
disagree.
It's not for everybody.
No, I like the
Same
Blair
way
Witch
that they've
Project.
put Ghostbusters down, but I'm assuming they mean
I think they meant the new
they
one.
must mean the new one and not the old
Otherwise,
ones.
we have to find them
And kill them.
and beat them with a tennis racket.
We'll set Liam Neeson on them.
I've got
Oh, it's a tree now.
10.0 Earthquake.
That sounds
Oh
terrible.
yeah, that was from
Bad title.
Eleanor. The London Small YouTubers.
Is it Eleanor Everett?
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh,
the
yeah.
London Small
Ele-
YouTubers. That was her suggestion. 10.0 Earthquake.
Brilliant. I love that already. I think I've seen this one. Abraham Lincoln Vampire Killer. Pretty sure we
Yeah,
watched
that was
that.
pretty.
I like the
weird.
sound of that. I don't know why.
Maybe it's because the
I'm in
idea
a
of
strange
Abraham
mood
Lincoln
today.
as a vampire killer. I mean, it sounds cool,
Genius.
but yeah.
But then it's not.
Okay, there's somebody put a whole load of ones.
Yeah,
on
Matt
here.
looks like he's got like an essay in front
Right.
Oh,
of him
some
right
some
now.
of them are actually their email addresses, I think. So
Right,
there's
we won't
Cool
read that
Cat
out.
Saves the Kids. There's Anaconda 3. I didn't even know there was a second one. let
No.
alone the
I've
third one.
seen
Oh, God.
the
This
first
is news to
Anaconda.
us. I
Yeah.
did the first one, yeah, but did you know there were other ones?
No.
It's like those Disney films that always have like 10 sequels you're not aware of.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
Let's
the
watch Aladdin 7. What?
There isn't. a really
That's Aladdin as a very, very old man.
Yeah.
Still lying to his wife.
Bloody Aladdin.
Oh, I know. I'd love to see that. The kind of Aladdin and is it Jasmine?
Jasmine,
yeah,
As
yeah.
kind of like an old couple, like in
Bickering.
yeah, it's kind of like like kind of Victor Meldrew, kind of just complaining about everything.
Well, every Disney
So,
film does
Guy
have at
Ritchie,
least
if
2
you're
sequels,
listening,
doesn't it?
Or the
Make
Good
Aladdin
Life, something
7,
like that.
please. With
But,
old Aladdin.
Every Disney film does have at least 2 sequels, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Little Mermaid
That nobody
has
watches.
2 and 3. Pocahontas, I think, has like 2. I don't
The
know
Lion
about
King
3.
has.
Beauty and the
2 or
Beast has a
3.
sequel with an evil piano.
Oh,
Does
I
it?
I love it. It's like a Christmas special because it's at Christmas and there's snow and there's an evil
Can
piano.
that be my Christmas present?
It's actually my sister's favourite like Disney film because she
Sorry,
loves Beauty
that
and the
film
Beast.
or just an evil piano.
I want an evil piano.
I will get you an evil piano.
Cool, thanks,
Here
Kate.
to you first. We'll find the piano, turn it evil, and then give it to you for Christmas.
You have to turn it evil because it was good to start off with.
Yeah, it's the best kind of evil ones when they were good to start off with.
Yeah,
Matt
and
could
then-
make it for you.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I was going to say we'll chuck in a bit of squirrel in there as well.
Oh my god. It could be an evil piano that could cure cancer but has too much squirrel in it.
I like that.
No part of that sentence made sense.
Like, they just kind of play.
That's going to be
Someone
my new
just
thing. I'm sorry, this has too much squirrel.
I like the idea of someone just playing it. Go, no, it could cure cancer, but it's too much squirrel.
Ding ding ding. No.
Too much squirrel. Okay, what dreams may come.
I've heard of that.
Okay.
Yeah, me too. But somebody look it up. That's going to bug me a
I'm
little.
on it. What
else we
it's a
got?
Robin Williams film. Sorry, that was good.
Oh, it's made me sad now.
Oh,
Oh, I don't like this game anymore.
Let's give up. Come
Robin
on, guys.
Williams and Cuba Gooding Jr. are in this film. Oh, I feel sad now. Oh, and Max von Sydow. Sydow? Is that what you say?
Sydow, I think
Sydow.
so, yeah.
And I feel sad now.
Well, what the hell is the film? You're just telling us people who
Oh,
are
yeah,
in it.
sorry. After he dies in a car crash,
Oh, God.
a man searches heaven and hell for his beloved wife.
Oh, that sounds.
And his wife is Max von Sydow.
We've
Cuba
lost-
Gooding Jr.
His wife is Cuba Gooding. His wife is Annabella Sciorro.
I think we should have an entire episode where Kaylee just
This
murders
sounds
people's
miserable.
names.
I know I'm
Yeah.
really bad.
Or
I'm
fails to say words like flamingo and revolutionary.
I say flamingo, and I have done for years.
Can
It's
you say
cute.
penguins?
I can say penguin. This isn't a challenge. It's like, what words could... No.
Say revolutionary road.
Shut up.
Say revolutionary flamingos.
This is not the time to point out that I'm not very good with my words.
Maybe this could be an audience participation thing. Send in your suggestions of words
Yeah,
that
things
Kaylee
that
will
you want
find
Kaylee
difficult
to say.
Anything that begins with is pretty much going to be bad for me to say. I've got Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh, I've heard that's
Ooh.
terrible.
Yeah.
I've
Yeah,
heard
that's
Which,
right. That is M. Night Shyamalan.
Who is... Oh, he used to be so good. Poor
Like
M. Night
once. He was
Shyamalan.
good like
He-
once.
yeah, he's
No,
got-
no, no,
Unbreakable's a
twice,
good film.
twice,
Unbreakable's
twice.
a good
Yep.
film.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, true.
That's
And that,
the-
like, 3 seconds of silence, which is just really cool.
3 seconds of it. Like
That
right
bit
at
with
the start
alien where,
before
like,
anybody
comes out and
talks.
scares the crap out of you. Love
It's,
that
what,
bit.
what is films? Unbreakable and Sixth Sense are
Unbreakable.
great.
Yeah, it's like-
And everything else is bad? Is that it?
Yeah,
You must have more
like
than
about,
two
the
yeah.
good films.
Village was good up
Village
until
was
a
the-
point, and then
My
just
mother would
went
like
terribly
to suggest
downhill.
The Village is the worst film I've made.
Yeah, it
'cause
is quite.
she did
After
it.
Earth is M. Night
I haven't
Shyamalan.
seen that.
Oh,
Really?
yeah.
That's Will Smith and his kids.
Will
Yes,
Smith and
Will Smith
Jaden
is
Smith.
kid. That's
Will
pretty
Smith and his
appalling.
kid. That's the film.
Yeah.
No, it kind of
Will
is.
Smith
No,
though.
and
I
his
know.
kid.
I've seen the
When's
They do
trailer.
play
no.
father and son. Yeah, in After Earth they do play father and son. I'm not going to tell you which one plays father and which son.
Because
Ooh,
that's
is that the
just a
twist?
massive spoiler.
Does it have a twist?
No, not
film.
really.
Ah,
What?
lame.
Oh,
The
he has
spoiler
the
of
film
it
with
is that M. Night Shyamalan directed it.
Okay.
he has that film, doesn't he, with Mark Wahlberg talking to plants.
The Happening.
There we go.
Trying to
So,
negotiate with a house plant to not kill
he
him.
did Lady in the Water, Unbreakable Signs.
Yeah, Lady in the Water's awful.
The
as well.
Happening, The Last Airbender, After Earth. He's doing a TV series at the minute, apparently
he's
called
done-
Wayward Pines.
He's got that new film out, isn't he? The James McAvoy split
Yeah,
personalities film.
which is called Split.
I actually
It was
really
split.
want to see that.
It looks
It looks
super weird.
Just to
bonkers.
see James McAvoy playing that many different
Yeah, it looks
personalities in one
Yeah.
person.
insane.
It does.
It's a bit
look
like I think
crazy.
Alec Guinness did a film like that once, where he played essentially 7 different members of the same family.
Really?
Mm.
Not all male, in fact, as well.
No,
Okay.
these aren't all male either.
No, these.
James McAvoy
Yeah.
If
plays
you
a
watch
whole
a
bunch of them.
trailer, the trailer's really weird.
Yeah, he kidnaps these kids and then they're like, oh, there's a woman over there. She can help us. And it turns out to be him. And they're like, this is getting weirder by the second.
Yeah.
Yeah, generally the problem with M. Night Shyamalan's work is that it is kind of very, very overly directed.
Mm.
So you get kind of weird cuts and shots just to kind of for no reason.
I think one of the things is that with M. Night Shyamalan is the fact that when he's
Murder another name. This can be a drinking game.
Oh my
Every
God.
time
I'm
Kaylee
sorry.
murders a name.
How do you say
M.
it?
Night Shyamalan.
Shyamalan.
Ding dong.
Shyamalan. I would have said
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan. That's right, isn't it?
Shyamalan.
Shyamalan, yeah.
I am really sorry, M. Night Shyamalan. If you're listening.
This is
Don't
to get
say
you
it while
back
I'm
for all the
drinking tea.
terrible twists.
I'm sorry.
Oh, Black
But I
Betty,
think
Shyamalan.
with that guy.
How many songs can we fit M. Night Shyamalan's name
Let's
into?
never let Kaylee make
Oh
this
dear.
point.
With,
We'll never work on his films now.
Damn.
with M. Night, I'm just going to call him M. Night for short. With M. Night, I think what was good is the fact that what makes The Sixth Sense work is you didn't know there was going to be a twist, and then there was a twist, and you don't really see the twist coming.
Yeah, but then he got
But
stuck on the
then
same thing.
now
Yeah.
you go to see
Yeah.
one of his films, and you're going, "Oh, what's the twist? Come on, tell me what the twist is." Kind
Yeah.
of
And
thing.
the twist kind of
Well,
lets you down now.
Which isn't
The
as
thing about
interesting.
Sixth Sense is it's sort of one big twist as the plot unveils, and it has that one last minute twist at the end that like flips the story on its head.
Yeah.
And it's that last minute twist that he's then tempted to slip into everything unnecessarily.
Yeah.
I mean, I like Unbreakable, but I'm not sure it really works even in that.
Hmm.
I was like, yeah, it's fine. It doesn't blow my mind like The Sixth Sense did. But yeah, it's that last minute twist, super unnecessary, especially in the village.
It was
Oh, gosh,
ridiculous.
I predicted that in about 10 minutes that was going to happen in the village as well.
Did
And
you?
about
I
10 minutes of the
didn't
film, I was
predict
like,
it, but I was
I
just
think
like,
this is gonna happen.
what?
Yeah, I
Why?
didn't predict it, but it annoyed the crap out of me.
So that's our bucket of doom. We'll have to go through it in more details. Yeah, we'll get it. Kelly will type it up and we'll.
I'm going to type it up a list about on the
say thanks to
website when the
everyone.
website is launched.
We'll find some terrible things to watch in there.
So we're gonna.
It'd be like a bit of a
Are
checklist.
we
really.
going to come up with a short list for that, and then they vote?
Yeah,
To...
yeah. I think that's a brilliant idea.
Short
I
list.
said yeah, like I'd thought of that, but no, Matt has thought of that.
Yes, let's do
That's
that.
definitely what we're gonna do. I totally just thought of that.
We're
Um,
geniuses.
No,
Yeah, no, that's a
it's
good
totally
idea.
the plan all along, Christian.
Yeah.
It was. Don't pretend you've thought this through. Is that how-
Don't pretend to put
Don't
much
pre-
thought into it.
Yeah, don't pretend you put thought into this.
Excellent.
Yeah. Brilliant.
So we'll get something figured out for that.
Cool.
We saw a whole bunch of stuff at Comic-Con. I didn't see a huge amount. I tended to just stay at the table because I was feeling crappy the entire time.
Yeah.
But Kaylee, why don't you met the cast of Red Dwarf?
I did. I met the cast of Red Dwarf because while we were recording the podcast, they had
A little panel.
a
and
little
stuff.
panel and things like that. So I tried to like run all the way from like hall A where we are to hall B where they were, and I got there and they weren't.
Which is
there.
further
But
away
then-
than it sounds.
I was
A
gonna
to
say
B.
it all
so
the way
you know.
into the next
It
one.
was it took a while. I pretty much just run there super quickly, and then I got to see them at the autograph section and have some selfies, which
you
I
got some
posted
good
up on the
selfies up online.
Instagram photo page. So
That was cool.
they're there. Yeah, that was great. They were lovely.